Tell me about yourself and your experience in last 2, 3 years.
Oh yeah, so I go by the name of Otto. I have an overall 6 years of experience working as an application support
Mhm.
and on the system administration side. So throughout my career, I have worked with various business applications. I've managed different ticketing systems such as Zendesk, Jira, ServiceNow, and
Mhm.
also I've collaborated with cross-functional teams to ensure smooth operations and process improvement.
Okay.
So I have experience gathering and analyzing system requirements,
Mhm.
documenting procedures, training our users, and also troubleshooting all related application issues, both software and hardware issues.
Okay.
My ability to prioritize tasks, to maintain data confidentiality, and
Mhm.
also to improve workflow efficiencies aligns well with the responsibilities of this role at Calista Corporation. So I'm an easygoing person,
Mhm.
continuous learning being one of my biggest strengths. And I have an open collaborative mindset. So I always collaborate on a day-to-day with developers, business analysts, and in order to resolve application related and database related issues.
Okay.
So I
Sounds
would
good.
say that as we move on with this interview, I'll be able to express myself both professionally and personally. Thank you.
Thank you, Atu. That was really good introduction. So you have mentioned few things which I have noted. Like you have collaborated with the business analyst for some requirements, right? So would you please give us a snapshot how you have collaborated with the business analyst with real life example?
Yeah. So when collaborating with business analysts, we had a situation where
Mhm.
I was supporting a website called complexsql.com. And the website, we had a situation where our contact us page, we couldn't retrieve data from the page, like the users when they were putting in their information to set up their appointments or to purchase certain products on our website. So we were not receiving those information on our end side,
Mhm.
and the users were complaining about that. So I had to perform, we had to double check on our I forgot the name of that.
No worries,
One
no
second.
worries. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the name of that requirement. Uh,
you can take your time.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think. Mm. Can you give me a good scenario for this one? I think I don't have a good scenario for this one. Are you there?
Yes, I think contact us page requirement is fine. So you require to tell the interviewer like I have supported two types of requirement when I was dealing with the complexsql.com website. So first kind of a
Mhm.
requirement is more of a functional requirement, and second type of requirement is non-functional requirement. So functional requirement is creating the contact us page, whatever you have explained, and I have collaborated with my business analyst in creating the multiple documents like software requirement specification documents on Confluence page to gain the requirement of contact us page. Also, secondly, I have scheduled a multiple calls to collaborate with multiple teams to gather that requirements and supported my business analyst to gather multiple requirements for our for complexsql.com. Third is regarding my non-functional requirement. The non-functional requirement is our site. The key requirement for the site is the site needs to run with multiple parallel users, like 100 parallel users can use the same functionality of complexsql.com at same time. So that one kind of
Mhm.
non-functional requirement we took care of with the help of business analyst and other stakeholders. Got it?
Oh, that's multi-parallel. So I would say that throughout my career, I've supported two types of requirement, which was the
Mhm.
functional and the non-functional requirement. So the functional requirement was mostly focused on how our website should behave on the side of the end users. And the non-functional requirement was to ensure that parallel users, because we were supporting more than 10,000 users. So it was to ensure that all these users could, interact with our website on a daily basis without any disruption or any downtime. So I assisted my business analyst in gathering these requirements and also communicating with other stakeholders in order to, my business analyst in order to ensure that these requirements were met according to the organization standards. Yeah.
That's good. That's good. So next question is how you spend your day as an application support analyst and what kind of multiple tools you are using on day-to-day basis as an application support analyst.
Okay. So during my tenure, as an application system analyst and application support engineer, so I have gained extensive experience, in managing and supporting various business applications. I've supported applications like like a ERM, such as Microsoft Dynamics. I've supported CRM applications such as Oracle, and also Salesforce. I've also supported HCM application like Workday. So mainly on a day-to-day, my primary responsibilities included, application support and troubleshooting. So making sure that I've provided me comprehensive support for our enterprise applications, which included monitoring our system
Mhm.
performance, identifying issues, and also implementing timely solutions to minimize our downtime. So my experience with complexsql.com, so it allowed me to develop a deep understanding of SQL database and
Mhm.
Unix also, Unix
Okay.
systems. And it has always been very valuable in diagnosing and resolving any application related problems that we faced. And also on a day-to-day, I ensure that our users were well trained and had a good understanding on how our application worked and how it should be used to minimize errors and repeated errors. And also, I've worked on process improvement and automation. So, always trying to evaluate existing processes and making sure that I identify opportunities for improvement. And working in my previous company I really contributed to the development of automation scripts,
Okay.
which helped us, for our daily repeated issues like database backup or for monitoring our system performance.
Mhm.
And also, ensuring the security and compliance of my companies. So in my previous role, I always make sure that I followed. I started by managing users and permission, following the principle of least privilege. I also implemented role-based access control,
Mhm.
making sure users are only connected, only granted permission
Good.
based on their job function. I've also implemented different types of encryption, such as the transparent data encryption, which
Okay.
helps me to protect data at rest,
Mhm.
and also the is encrypted, which helps to protect sensitive data and protect data in transit,
Okay.
and making sure that I always meet compliance with our, with organization GDPR and
Okay.
HIPAA, because I've worked also in the health, so we follow the HIPAA. And GDPR was because we had some clients which were in the European Union, so we had to
Correct.
follow that. So that
So
when it comes to security, I always meet compliance with my organization standards. And I
that
will
is
also
good
say that,
experience. Yeah, you are having really good
yeah,
experience by seeing you are working on multiple platforms, multiple things. So here would like to ask you a cross question regarding the troubleshooting. So you have mentioned something about the troubleshooting, right? So you are troubleshooting the
yeah,
application on day-to-day basis. So will you please give me the example where you have faced the it will be really hard to you to troubleshoot that application uh, and how you tackle that situation. So just I want
oh yeah,
example, proper example, not a theoretical knowledge. Okay, so just need the proper example for that.
yeah. So in my previous role, I remember once a user reported that our financial reporting dashboards
Mhm.
in an ERP system, it was displaying incorrect data after a system update.
Mhm.
So my task was, identify the root cause and restore accurate reporting as soon as possible.
Mhm.
So the first step I took was gathering information. So I tried to access the information from the user,
Mhm.
and that was including screenshots, error messages. And when I do that, the next step was I check the system logs. I check
Correct.
our database queries to trace, any discrepancies. And I also identified that a new update because we had implemented a recent new update, which was causing like, a query error. So, and that was affecting data retrieval. So I had to roll back the update, and I worked also closely with my developers to apply a fixed patch. So by doing that, we could restore accurate reporting within 2 hours.
Mhm.
And also we created a testing checklist to prevent similar issues in the future updates.
That's a really good answer. So you mentioned about the root cause analysis in your answer, right? So
Yeah,
in root cause analysis, what kind of steps you are taking, and what I'm sure that you require to work in collaborative environment when you are performing the root cause analysis because multiple teams are always involved, right? So will you please give
obviously.
me a example how you perform the root cause analysis for whatever issue you have explained me right now, and what steps you took to do that root cause analysis, and where you have documented that root cause analysis details. So these are my three cross questions.
Okay. So starting with the root cause analysis, it's simply so I've worked. I remember I faced a situation where our application was crashed, so our application went down,
Mhm.
and it went down during our business hours, so it was really something critical. So I implemented my root cause analysis first by trying to identify, the necessary requirements. So I started by asking necessary questions to our end users if maybe they were receiving, error messages, how many users were affected by the issue, if it was like only maybe, a large set of users or maybe some users that were facing the issue.
Mhm.
And when I did that, the next step I took was to reproduce the issue on my end to try to see also
That
if I
is right.
was able to access the application or not.
Mhm.
So I noticed that I wasn't able to access my application. So I went further by trying to check our database, our logs.
Mhm.
I checked the logs, and I couldn't see any error message on our log side.
Okay.
So I went further by collaborating with developers and also with
So
the
while you're
network team.
working with your developers, have you scheduled any calls with the developers to have a great collaboration, or have you created any teams group or any group to have that good collaboration until that issue is getting resolved?
Yeah, collaborating with developers is what I do on a day to day because
Okay.
working as an application support engineer, I always face scenarios where the issues are not even related to the applications. Most of the time, they are database related issues, queries related issues, network related issues. So my own job is mainly to identify when it's not an application related issue because I have a good understanding and extensive knowledge in SQL and Unix. So whenever there's an issue related maybe to database, network, due to my understanding, I always collaborate and set up calls and meetings
Okay.
with developers and network teams where we both, brainstorm the issue together, identify the root cause of the issue, and also we use our good documenting system, which is Confluence. We make sure that we document the issue properly. And we also make sure that through our Jira ticketing system, we also ensure a proper and good communication with our end users, making sure that they are informed at any step of the process. And we give them, good appropriate date timeline to make
That's
sure that all our users follow what's going on. So that's my
okay.
approach collaborating with users and identifying root cause as well.
That's good. So you are having the knowledge of Jira as well as Confluence. That's what you are saying right now, right? So do you know about
Yeah.
the priorities of the incident and what is difference between priority and severity of incident?
So the priority of incident is simply, let's say maybe, for example, I faced a situation where I had maybe a system crash, like what I just mentioned,
Mhm.
and I have a situation where my security team are trying to do patches on our system.
Correct.
So when you have this type of conflicts, it's only about prioritizing based on the impact and business needs. So definitely, the incident is like when you have an issue, like let's say maybe the system crash is an incident, right? And now the priorities now is like the system crash obviously is a top priority because it affects our end users and that's bad for our business. So that's like a priority issue. And in my system, we had different types of priority. We had P1, the P2, the P3, and the P4. The P1 being the highest priority and the P4 being the lowest. And also we had incident resolution and the resolution SLA to follow when resolving such type of issues. Yeah.
So that's fine. We'll move towards the next interview question, which is not which is related to Confluence page. Okay. So how you use the Confluence page and what kind of documents you are preparing for application support while you provide the application support?
What types of document?
Yeah. What kind of documents you are preparing for the application support? Let's say you are supporting XYZ application. Let's say you are supporting track and trace application. So
Okay.
you told me like you are using the Confluence page for getting all the documents, right? So what kind
Yeah.
of documents you are using or pushing to the Confluence page so that everyone can use that document?
So, um, I follow a structured approach, to documenting client requirements.
Mhm.
So I always use standardized templates,
Mhm.
to capture key details like the objectives, the expected outcomes, and the constraints. I make sure that I write in simple, non-technical language as much as possible to ensure clarity with all our stakeholders. I also make sure that sometimes I include visuals like, process flow diagrams to
Correct.
enhance, our user understanding,
Perfect.
and I validate the document requirement by reviewing them with the client and also with the team before
Mhm.
finalizing.
Okay.
So by using this approach, it has always helped us, in order to even create some knowledge base
Mhm.
and to ensure that our workflow has been improved with a certain number of percentage. Yeah.
That's really good. So you are having, I can see that you are having really good experience in uh, Jira and you are having a great idea about how to use Jira. You know about the priorities, urgencies. That is really good. So one last question. Why do you want to join our company?
So yeah, that's really a good question. So I would say that when I went through the company website, I was really passionate by the innovation that Calista has been working on. I know that Calista has like a headquarter which is in the European side, that's in Switzerland, and you guys are really implementing cutting edge technology like the IoT. That's the information of technology. I'm really someone passionate about technology. So when I also looked at the company culture and being part of a forward-thinking company has always been one of my dreams, and also working as a full-time position. That's really something that I would really enjoy. And also, when going through the job description, honestly, that totally aligns with my skills and career goals. And I'm sure that my technical skills and communication skills can be really helpful. And I'm sure that I can really find a good place and a good working environment if I'm hired by Calista. And yeah, those are some
Hope
of
you know,
the.
like our company, sometimes you require to stretch your working hours while working with our company. So will that be okay with you?
Oh yeah, because I thrive in fast-paced environment where I've worked also like in an on-call position, and also working with teams across different regions. Like I've worked with people who were from India, from Europe. So sometimes I had to stretch my extra hours, in order to meet the company's requirement. And so I'm very excellent in that. Like my top priority when I join a new organization is always about the success of the company first, before because when a company is doing well, that's how you can also improve yourself both personally and professionally. Yeah.
That's really good answer. Just a last question, just the for the curiosity, because you told like you are really eager to learn the cutting edge technologies. So recently, any technology you have learned?
Yeah, I recently learned the Copilot, how to implement Copilot for our reports when we're using Excel reports. So it was really something that I didn't know that I could make it like really learn the new technology so quick, but it was really something cool because I had to quickly do an online training, attend my online webinars, and also reviewing our knowledge base, and also because I had the chance to work with a very good past manager. Even though in this position, I know that it's not like a supervisor. So I know how to lead a team. I know how to lead reports. I know how to lead projects. So when I'm faced with learning a new technology, I always take self-paced training modules and watch tutorial videos. I set up a test environment for hand-on testing, and I quickly use my reference guides. You know, and now I can now when I gather excessive knowledge and try it in a test environment, I can now implement it on production, have a meeting with the team, in order to train the team and show them the result of my findings. Yeah, and by doing that in all my previous role, I always use maximum of 2 to 3 weeks, to
That is
become
really good
proficient in any.
and
Yeah,
really interesting. Yeah, thanks, Arthur, for giving your time. It was nice talking to you, and our HR will get back to you with further discussions. So I really like your attitude. Before we can stop, any questions for me?
yeah. So I just wanted to know, like, how does Calista measure success in the first 3 months?
How? Sorry.
How does Calista measure success in this role for the first 3 months?
That is really good question you have asked because it will show your interest in this role. So to measure the success in this role, so we are looking for the candidate who are good in Unix, which you are already in, who is having a collaborative environment, who has worked in the collaborative environment. Because some of our teams are sitting in the India, some of our teams are sitting in Indonesia. So we require to do the collaboration with multiple teams, and some of our stakeholders are in Russia as well. So we are looking for the person who can give the support to that all stakeholders and who can communicate well with the stakeholders and resolve the multiple application support related issues. And our main goal is to improve the uptime of our application. So currently we are having 96.7% uptime for the applications. Unfortunately, for some applications our server was down in last year, but we require to improve in this year. So that is the key goal for this role. So that is really nice question. Thanks for asking that. Cool.
Okay, thank you. That was all for my questions.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Cool, Arthur. Thank you. That was nice.